I never thought I would find myself sitting alone in my car outside a grocery store, staring at a bouquet of flowers I was about to throw away. At 35, I had finally found someone I wanted to spend my life with, or so I thought until that afternoon. I'm a dentist, and that's how I met her 2 years ago. She came in for a routine cleaning, new to the city and looking for a regular dental office. What should have been a quick appointment turned into an hour of talking. There was something different about her. Maybe it was how she laughed at my terrible dental jokes, or how her eyes lit up when she talked about her dreams. Before meeting her, I was content being single. Sure, I dated here and there, but nothing serious. I had my practice, my hobbies, and a comfortable life. I wasn't looking for anything more, but then she walked in and changed everything. She's outgoing, always surrounded by friends. Her closest friend is someone she grew up with in her hometown. Let's call him Parker. He visits every few months, and I'll admit their friendship made me a bit uneasy. Not that I showed it or made a big deal about it. She assured me they were just friends, and I tried my best to be cool about it. But Parker never seemed to warm up to me, despite my attempts to be friendly. She would say he's just protective, but it always felt more like jealousy to me. After she moved in with me a year ago, things were great. She was finishing up her MBA, and I supported her through it. I didn't mind covering all the expenses. I was doing well enough, and I wanted her to focus on her studies. The only thing I made clear was that once she got a job, we'd split the expenses. I believe in independence, you know. Last Monday, she called to tell me she got her dream job. I was so proud and excited that I left work early to surprise her. I bought her favorite wine, got Thai takeout, and picked up this necklace with a dolphin pendant she'd been eyeing at the mall. She loves anything with dolphins. I came in through the garage to grab the necklace from my hiding spot. That's when I heard her laughing upstairs. She was on the phone with Parker, and what I heard next made my stomach drop. She was making fun of me. Not just little jokes, she was being cruel. She was comparing me to her ex, making fun of my looks, calling me dumb despite my education. The worst part? Most of what she said wasn't even true. It was like she was making up flaws just to have something to laugh about with him. I stood there, holding flowers and her favorite wine, feeling like someone had just punched me in the gut. I had been ring shopping. I had been planning our future. And there she was, tearing me apart to someone she knew I was already uncomfortable about. I avoided her for 3 days after that. She kept texting, asking if everything was okay, probably because she heard the garage door when I left. I talked to my sister about it, showed my closest friend the text she'd been sending, trying to figure out how to handle this. Everyone said the same thing. I needed to end it. Finally, on Thursday, I took her to this quiet restaurant downtown, one of those places with private booths. I figured a public place would be better, just in case things got heated. She seemed extra affectionate that evening, kept touching my arm, making plans for the weekend. It made what I had to do even harder. After we ordered, I told her everything, how much she meant to me, how I'd never connected with anyone like this before, how I'd been thinking about marriage. Then I asked her why she would say those things about me to Parker. She denied it at first, acted confused, said she would never. But I told her I heard everything. She still tried to play it off, said I must have misunderstood. I heard you say my name, I told her. I heard you comparing me to your ex. I heard everything. That's when it all changed. First came more denials, then tears and begging. She said she didn't know why she said those things, that Parker just brings out a different side of her, that she can laugh about things with him that usually make her cry. When I didn't budge, the tears stopped pretty quickly. Suddenly, I was controlling, insecure, and not good enough for her. She said she never really loved me anyway, that I was more like a friend she didn't want to hurt. I told her we were done, that she needed to pack her essentials and find somewhere else to stay. My house, my rules, she hadn't paid a dime towards any bills, so legally she had no claim to stay. She didn't take that well. Started screaming right there in the restaurant, called me every name in the book. The drive home was silent. My friend Kai and his wife were waiting at the house. I'd asked them to be there just in case. While she packed some clothes and called her friend to pick her up, I waited outside with Kai. Before she left, I got my house key back. That night, the texts started pouring in. They went from apologetic to angry to sad and back again. I didn't respond to any of them. The next morning, I texted her once to say I'd put her remaining things on the porch and she could pick them up while I was at work. I should have known it wouldn't end there. When I got home that evening, my house was destroyed. She must have made a copy of the key at some point because she got in and went on a rampage. Furniture was torn apart, irreplaceable family photos were smashed, sinks were clogged with the water running, and food was thrown everywhere. The only decent thing she did was lock my dogs in the bedroom so they wouldn't get hurt. Then I remembered I'd given her a spare key to my work SUV for emergencies. Sure enough, she trashed that too. The interior was covered in flour and what looked like tomato soup. 3 days earlier, we'd been curled up watching movies together, playing board games with friends, and now my life was literally in pieces. In a moment of pure spite, I ordered 100 pounds of baby carrots to be delivered to her friend's house where she was staying. Petty? Absolutely. But after what she'd done to my house, I felt like I deserved one small act of revenge. The next wave of texts from her was even nastier than before. I finally blocked her number and on all social media. I've never cried so much in my life, but I know I made the right choice. Her actions prove that. I've spent a lot of time thinking about what went wrong. Being a dentist means long hours sometimes, and I know that bothered her. When patients have emergencies, I have to answer those calls, even during dinner or on weekends. We had fights about it before, and I try to make changes, try to leave work at work. But there's only so much I can do. It's part of the job. Still, I don't think I was a bad partner. Sure, I had grumpy days and we had normal disagreements, but nothing major. I really thought we were happy. I was happy. It's hard not to question everything now. Wonder if I somehow pushed her to act this way. But then I remember how she laughed while making fun of me to Parker, how quickly she turned cruel at the restaurant, and how she destroyed my home. No one deserves that kind of treatment. I filed a police report and took pictures of all the damage for insurance, though I doubt anything will come of it legally. I can't prove it was her, and honestly, I don't want to drag this out in court. I just want to move on. The weirdest part is how fast everything changed. One day you're planning a future with someone, picking out rings and thinking about where to propose, and the next day you're filing a police report about them. Life is funny that way, I guess. My sister keeps telling me I'll find someone better, someone who actually appreciates me. Right now, that's hard to imagine. But I know she's right. I deserve better than someone who would mock me behind my back and destroy my property when things don't go their way. For now, I'm focusing on fixing up my house, keeping busy at work, and spending time with my dogs. They're better company anyway. They don't make fun of me to their friends or trash my house when they're angry. The whole experience has taught me something important. Sometimes the person you think is the one is actually just a lesson in what you won't tolerate in your next relationship. It hurts now, but I know someday I'll be grateful I found out who she really was before I proposed, before we got married, before we had kids. I've stopped checking my phone hoping to see a genuine apology from her. I've stopped wondering if Parker was more than a friend. None of that matters anymore. What matters is that I stood up for myself, and even though it hurts like hell right now, I know I made the right choice. My friend Kai told me something that stuck with me. The right person won't make you question your worth. They'll make you realize it. I'm holding on to that thought as I rebuild my life, one day at a time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that subscribe button to help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who might enjoy it too. Your support means a lot. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or story ideas, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.